Hello everybody, hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor, we are back here with the Rumour Mill. We're here to discuss hopefully a week of activity. We're going to be keeping you updated throughout the entire week. If you want some bonus content, you can head over to the Patreon, everybody. We've got a generation up there. We've got a car with Connor, which is always a fantastic watch. And yeah, some other bonus bits on there as well. I want to shout out all the new members as well who've joined last week. I think we had 5, so a shout out to all of you guys. We're back here with some Leeds United news. We're back here, as you guys always know, with topics to discuss. It's not when you watch the Rumour Mill with me, it is always me giving an opinion either side of things as well. It's not just me just spouting out rumours. I like to try and give you my point of view on things, and you guys obviously get your opinions in the comment section below. Make sure you're liking the video. It's free to like the video. Shows up on everybody's algorithm if you do so. So there's about 160 of you so far for an impromptu Rumour Mills. Thank you so much. If we can get a few likes there, that'd be fantastic. Let me just get into some of your comments. What's up, Connor? All good. How you been? Killian, more new tab. Yes, I have, mate. I've got a fair few now. I got all inked up apparently. Got some more in the pipeline as well. So you might see. What was that Leeds guy with like LUFC on his face and the England tattoos on his face? I sat next to him at a couple of Leeds games actually. Yeah, what a passionate guy that must be. He must be with all those tattoos of Leeds on his face. Good day, gents. How you, Bjorn? Morning, Connor and all. How you, Matthew? Morning. Patreon, well worth the money. Always good stuff. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we'll try get some stuff on there for you guys as well. Just a little bit of bonus content. Okay, so let's get into the news, shall we? Morning, Connor, nearly as many tats now as Joe. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I'm gaining on him now, aren't I? I'm gaining. So let's get into your Leeds news anyway, everybody. Luis Sinister in line to face Manchester United in Oslo after Leeds United ace makes pre-season return. So what do we know? We know Sinister is obviously still at the club. We know he's been ridden with a few injuries, and that's been his problem throughout his career, really. But at Feyenoord, he was able to gain some consistency. So you're hoping, I mean, if he can stick around with Leeds in the Championship, it would be unbelievable. Even if we're playing 46 games a season and he's getting 20, 25 games, hopefully those 20, 25 games are where Luis Sinister 90% of the time is winning those games for Leeds United. So, yeah, apparently Sinister could be in line to face Manchester United in their pre-season friendly clash on Wednesday, the 12th of July, according to the YEP. I'm vexed about this game anyway. It annoys me that we're playing Man United again. It's just... I'm so happy for the Norwegian fans because they don't get to see Leeds a lot, and Leeds have such a massive following in Scandinavia for obvious reasons. Haaland, Halle, Bakker, so it's great to see that. I'm buzzing for the Norwegian fans. We've got a lot of Norwegian fans on the channel as well, so that's great for them. But just sometimes I'm a little bit like, how on earth have we managed to... why are we playing this game? It's obviously a Premier League fixture made there when we thought we were going to stay there, and obviously we were, it's one of those where we thought, I've got Leeds United, we're going to stay in the Premier League and we'll book this fixture in early so, we can roll into the new Premier League season after playing Manchester United in the pre-season friendly and gaining loads of eyes and focus, whatever. So, yeah, I'm happy for the Scandinavian fans that we're playing Manchester United in their backyard. That's great. But from a personal perspective, I'm just like, it just seems like a pointless game. And it's, in any walk of life, I don't like to get drubbed by that lot. I don't care if it's a friendly. I remember when I was in Australia and Manchester United beat us 4-0 and Dan James ran riot. So, yeah, even that friendly hurt. Anytime we play Manchester United, I'm not happy because we always lose. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who we put out for this one. Presumably a lot of youngsters, maybe JB, Archie Gray are going to get a few minutes. And yeah, you throw Sinister in there. Somerville going to be there. Rodrigo, Bamford. There's a lot of names who could be in line to start against Manchester United. Are they going to put out a full squad? I saw Rashford on holiday as of 3 days ago, so I doubt he's going to be featuring. Probably going to be the likes of Garnacho and a couple of the other kids as well. So yeah, Anthony, etc., etc. Could Aaronson go down? Sorry, mate. Rick, I'll read yours first, mate. Connor, do you think we'll go for West Brom lad Malumbi or however it's spelled? I do, mate. I do think that's going to be one that Leeds might take a look at, in my opinion. Could Aaronson go down as the worst signing in our history? We'll get into that, Brad. Because apparently he's created... listen, I'm not here to hate, but the amount of dross I'm seeing from people who just, we know the style of fan it is as well, fan who are just blindly saying that Brenden Aaronson was actually a really good catch and Leeds just didn't manage him well and the fan base is toxic. We know exactly what style of fan is saying that about Leeds United fans, but Brenden Aaronson, when you look at the value that we paid on him, Bradley, yeah. Is he one of the worst signings ever? 100%, if not the. When you're putting up the value of the guy and what he delivered. So we're just going to get into a few of your comments. Was Molnar from Norway? I think Molnar was Norwegian. I was going to say Molnar, but I didn't really want to shout that out there. He was a little bit before my time. Be interesting 11 playing on Wednesday, that's for sure. Good test for the new man, just as Matt. Yeah, definitely. Reckon City will stay, will be huge for a serious quality in him, hoping to get Manning, Perot and Hamer. Yeah. A few sources as well saying that apparently I'm seeing, I don't know why there's all these aggregator Twitter accounts at the minute, but there's a lot of people who are just randomly they're not even journalists, they're like on my Twitter feed, and the people who actually follow the channel and stuff like that, and suddenly they're saying that Leeds have agreed a deal, it's an exclusive and all this sort of stuff, and it doesn't look like the trolling. So be aware of these people who suddenly have now become exclusive journalists in the field and are saying confirmed exclusive breaking news, and are confirming we're in talks with Hamer and Perot and close and all this sort of stuff, and they're getting like 400 likes from Leeds fans. Guys, unless it's the official sources, don't be sort of buying into it really. Connor, would you take Bradley Dackey as free? Probably not, Dan. He's had two cruciate injuries which have crippled his career, to be honest with you, so I probably wouldn't. Next bit of news, Diego Llorente told AS Roma's official website that he did everything possible to leave Leeds United this summer to join Roma. Good. One of the worst signings, another horrific signing. Another player who was just in no way, shape or form, and I think I realised this with a lot of Leeds' recruitment. You might be a good player in a certain league, but and this can be suited to someone like Brenden Aaronson, Rasmus Christensen, Rodrigo for a part, especially when you look at the value, Diego Llorente. So you can be a good player in a certain European leagues, which are maybe a little bit slower, definitely lacking in quality. But when you come to the Premier League and you get punished for every mistake possible, even when you're in the offensive third, you lose the ball, which we saw with Brenden Aaronson consistently. The opposition is able to counter-attack, and when they counter-attack with the wingers and the strikers and the offensive players that are in this division, you can get punished when you're in the opposition's half like that. We saw that against Liverpool, we've seen that against Crystal Palace, we've seen that against the variety of calibre sides in the Premier League. So I think players like Diego Llorente were never suited for the Premier League. Never suited for the Premier League. A dilly-dallier, once again, very similar to Brenden Aaronson, on the ball. Always thought he had more time than what he actually had. And when that ball gets nicked off you in that division, it's ruthless. As we all know, and as we all have seen for years now, it is ruthless. And yeah, Diego Llorente never seemed to really grasp the fact that he's going to have to give the ball away quickly in a certain system, as in give the ball to one of his fellow players quickly, because he's going to get closed down. And maybe the Italian league suits him a little bit more. And for example, when we move the Bundesliga is going to suit someone like Brenden Aaronson a little bit more. But the calibre of the Premier League is something that these boys just could not acclimatise to. And that is said for so many Leeds players that Victor Orta has recruited. And Diego Llorente getting out of Leeds and going to, I think he's struggling in the Championship. You get bullied in the Championship. He'd get bullied. I don't care if he was part of a Europa League final. I don't care. Context needs to be applied. He'd get bullied in the Championship. So yeah, him going, no problem for me. No problem. Made of glasses, Pat P. Any replacement is an improvement. Llorente was our Premier League Belushi. Harry says Taylor or Manning, Connor. It's a good question, Harry. A lot of people just think I've got this bias towards Charlie. I haven't whatsoever. I just try to look at him and think, he'd be a good addition. I've always thought he'd be a good addition. Ryan Manning I do like as well. I do think Manning is a proper player, and that is also illustrated by the amount of clubs that are in for him right now, including Premier League clubs. What a fantastic season he had in the Championship last season. So I'd edge Taylor. purely because Taylor played at centre-back last season, played in a very different system, played a lot of games for Vincent Kompany's Burnley, was still heavily relied on, can play left-back, supports the club, lives in the area. I don't think it would be an expensive deal. Obviously, we know Ryan Manning would be free, but I think Taylor's got the experience as well. I think he'd fit in perfectly, and yeah, I think he'd want to come back. Put it that way. So yeah, I'd favour Taylor for that one, to be honest with you. But Andy says, caught you live for Singapore, just as work ends, kind of. Hiya, mate. Hope everything's good. Manning gives me Douglas vibes. Interesting. Not heard much about Diego Montero. Was he supposed to be a wonder kid? I don't know if he was supposed to be a wonder kid, Pat. It's what Leeds fans sometimes big up a player when he just came in, didn't he? There was no real mass hype about him. We got told I think he was the Portugal under-18s captain, wasn't he? Which is great, but I don't think there was a mass hype around him. I think Leeds fans were just getting excited because our defence is so shite that any addition that comes in is going to be a welcome one. So Matt Rocker and Junior Firpo pick up injuries. Leeds United players Matt Rocker and Junior Firpo set to miss the club's pre-season fixture against Manchester United, according to the YEP, after picking up injuries. Whether or not, do you believe that? Do you not believe? Do you believe that? Do you not believe that? They're both on the cusp of deals elsewhere. Are they injured? Are they really injured? Don't believe the hype all the time. And I would be very, very surprised if both of them were conveniently injured for this fixture, if they're both looking at moves to different clubs, i.e., you're looking at Real Betis when it comes to Rocker and Firpo. Suddenly they're both injured at the same time, or maybe it's been a progressive injury that they'll try spinners. But yeah, I would hark on caution for that one. I think they are probably, understandably, just not wanting to play to risking an injury. Risking an injury. They're not Gaetano Berardi, are they? They're not Gaetano Berardi. They need that move, which is fine. Bamford will be starting versus Cardiff. Yep, unfortunately. Will you be at the Cardiff game, Connor? I will be, Harry. I will, which will be good. Both to Betis, yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it from what I understand anyway. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe these injuries will, from what's reported, maybe these injuries are going to stump Betis's interest in both. But from what we understand, it is pretty close with Real Betis for both of those players, and just interesting how they both simultaneously picked up injuries when you presume with Betis it's going to get to the final stages pretty soon. Okay. Newcastle United have confirmed over the weekend that Loris Karius has penned a 12-month deal at St James's Park. Now, my question to you is, surely that would be the end of Karl Darlow. Now, Karius obviously will be the second goalkeeper at Newcastle. Karl Darlow's now lowered in the pecking order. Obviously, a lot of people were thinking maybe that Karius was going to be released on the Newcastle end of things. 30 years of age, doesn't really feature, but he's a very, very good number two, obviously. A very, very decent number two. So I think that would be... obviously a good move from Leeds in terms of Darlow. I think we've said this before on here that I think Freddie Woodman would be my pick. I think he's just a little bit more of that modernised goalkeeper that we all kind of want, playing out from the back, confident, a little bit of an ego, and part of the new gen when it comes to goalkeepers, really. And I like that. I really, really like that. Darlow, 32 years of age, done it at Forest and Newcastle, you could say, although a lack of real first-team minutes. And he's not played in a while. A lot of first-team football has gone by when you're looking at Karl Darlow. So do you want a goalkeeper who's been playing a little bit more as in first choice at their club? I think I probably would, to be honest with you. So yeah, Dubravka as well, Mouldy. You're right, Dubravka's still there. Sam Johnston would be my pick. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, yeah, Sam Darlow, and Carl Johnston. Yeah, no, he'd be my pick as well. I don't understand. Maybe they've just been warned off when it comes to Johnston, but what a signing that would be. Okay, so you've seen the title of the video, Yorkshire Evening Post. Well, not the Yorkshire Evening Post. That's a little bit more of other news. Obviously, they've reported that Leeds have got interest in Gustavo Hamer, but we'll move on to that. According to the Daily Mail, the Mirror, and a lot of other publications, Leeds United want Gustavo Hamer after Brenden Aaronson as a little bit of a replacement there. I mean, that would be the biggest upgrade in Championship history, I think, moving from someone like Brenden Aaronson to Gustavo Hamer, only a young lad as well, someone who's proven it in this division, someone who is just a little terrier when it comes to that midfield role. And yeah, he is someone who I would really, really enjoy seeing in this Leeds side. I've said it before, I think the Leeds fans would really take to him as well. He's elite. I feel like he's a Leeds player, giving everything for the shirt, putting in tackles, scoring goals, getting assists. I know these are very obvious things to say, but that, a proper midfielder that you need, it is quite obvious, isn't it? There's nothing, you don't need to say fancy words and fancy, you don't need to put fancy elements of the game in there, really. It's just that standard midfielder that gets goals, gets assists, works hard for the badge, and he has got a lot of potential, and I think that's exactly what Gustavo Hamer's got, to be honest with you. So yeah, Gustavo Hamer coming in, Brenden Aaronson leaving, obviously he's confirmed. I mean, what an agent this kid's got, Union Berlin. I've no idea how he's got that move. Probably going to be a bench player there, I would presume. But yeah, Hamer would be an ideal replacement for me. And yeah, if Brenden Aaronson goes and he comes in, but what we do know over the weekend is Fulham have declared their interest, which is going to be difficult for Leeds, because those top upper echelon Championship players are not only attractive to Leeds United, they're not only attractive to Southamptons and Leicesters, they're also going to be attractive to Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Everton, the teams at the lower ebb of the Premier League, and that's where Leeds are going to fall out of favour. And that's why you almost need to move really quickly. You almost allow this to, fester. There are going to be more and more clubs interested in Hamer and Manning and Pirot, players of this ilk, and they're going to turn around and just say, look, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. The agents will turn around to them and say, look, don't go to Leeds United. We can get you a Premier League move here. And every player wants to play in the Premier League if they've been playing in the English pyramid. So, yeah, I think we've got to move quickly when it comes to Hamer, because I think over the summer period he's going to stump up a lot of interest. Any truth in Wöber and Adams news, or is it just the daft Leeds fans pretending to report? Yeah, honestly, I don't know what's gone on with these Leeds fans who are saying exclusive, and it's very odd. Yeah, it's a very new wave of breaking news when they've no idea what's going on, but they're getting just absolute abundances of likes and followers from it. So there you go. Keep on the good stuff and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I think, as I've said to you guys before, I think Wöber would be decent. I think Wöber would be decent in the champ. I think Adams would be, but I can't, if they're both with us in the Championship, fine. I think the big positive from my side about them both is the fact that there'd be a lot of consistency there, and you'd have two quote unquote leaders in the Championship. But I do believe they're both of them are replaceable. But if you've got a framework in place for the remainder, for the start of next season, people are within the club and have been at the club for now, a year or nigh on a year, and can elevate a lot of the younger players who it looks like Leeds United are going to be blooding into the side next year, 17, 18-year-olds, then that's only a positive thing. But, the YEP have reported it, haven't they, saying that Leeds will try and do everything to keep Harrison, Wöber and Adams. But yeah, I guess it'd be a good thing if both of them were to leave. It would, honestly, be happy if they were both to stay. But yeah, I wouldn't be absolutely wounded if Tyler Adams and Wöber were to leave. Not whatsoever. Move quickly. That's the opposite of what we are in the transfer window. Yeah, thanks for your donation, Holy Ghost. 5 million for the 20-year-old Kitu Nakamura, the next Matoma. Yeah, a lot of people have tweeted me about this kid. I need to have a little bit of a look on him, see what he's all about. Joe's in the building. Hey, mate. It's a Premier League that's done this to us. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Let's have a look. Hamer with the R9 regen, aka Mayo Joseph up front. Yeah, Joseph, big season for him as well. Huge season. And the YEP have reported that Leeds United outcast that Jamie Shackleton won the bleep test last week at Thorpe Arch as pre-season starts heating up. And I saw a post on this, and it's like, just he's a Leeds lad. Just give him a chance. I'm like, oh God, we're doing the sentiment thing again, aren't we? He's a Leeds lad. He runs around. He puts a lot of effort in. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. He's never been good enough. I'd argue, despite the appearances for Millwall, Charlie Cresswell stood, shoulders above him in terms of impact at Millwall. Look, he's just not good enough. He wasn't good enough at Leeds. I think the effort's there. He runs around a lot. He's got a lot of stamina. But where's the technical ability? There's none of it with Shaq. There's none of it. You know, I don't know where he's fitting into this side. What are we now going to try shoehorn him in as a secondary right back? No, let's not do that. I'm not arsed if Jamie Shackleton's won a bleep test. I'm not bothered. I want to see, Leeds United going out and buying technical footballers who are going to get us promoted. I don't think Jamie Shackleton was that in the Bielsa era. I don't think he's going to be in the Farker era, which hopefully is going to become an era. I could not give a flying you-know-what about the bleep test. I'm seeing it online. I'm seeing posts, well, give Shaq another year. Look, hear me out here. Jamie Shackleton should be starting for what? Because he's won a bleep test. Relax. Jesus Christ. He's not good enough. He's never been good enough. And there's so many of those Leeds players that stick can be whacked on. Brenden Aaronson. I'm seeing online chances created by Brenden Aaronson. Half of those were corners that were just literally floated into the box. Half of them were, blocked shots that rebounded to a Leeds player. Like, come on. Like, I saw a compilation online. It was a 50-second compilation. The guy played about 50 games. If we're getting a 50-second compilation from 50 games, what is that telling you about Brenden Aaronson's contribution in the Leeds United shirt? Void. Nothing. Nada. Absolute zero there. And I'm just... It gets to you when you're seeing these things. It's like, give him another chance. No, we're not Sentiment FC anymore. We carry on like Sentiment FC and we're not going anywhere. We're going to stagnate and we're going to become a championship mediator. Let's not do that. Let's try get some of the deadwood out of the side, which we have done with Brenden Aaronson, which is good. Let's get rid of him when we can actually, open him up to maybe a permanent transfer. And let's move some of these players on. They're just not good enough, and will never be good enough for Leeds United. I wanna up those standards a little bit. But oh man, I know a lot of you guys are commenting as well. But Jesus Christ, some of the stuff I've seen about Brenden Aaronson. Oh, look at all the chances he's created. Show me actual proper chances that he created. Proper chances created, because actually when you look at the Premier League chances created, people are talking about him creating 56 chances in a season, 46 chances in a season. He created 5. And how many of those were corners? And how many times that he's been dispossessed the second most time in the Premier League, and half of those have led to counter-attacking chances for the opposition and broken down proper Leeds United offensive build-up play and all this sort of stuff. So it works in conjunction with each other. It's ridiculous, but yeah. Who's better than Greenwood or Shackleton? I can think of what. I mean, that's the bottom of the barrel for me. The bottom of the barrel. Let's have a look. Joe, thoughts on Surridge, mate? Yeah, let's be honest. Joe, 2.2 million, mate. Listen, we were speaking off air, weren't we? And I've spoken to Gabe and a few other Leeds fans about this. I wouldn't mind Sam Surridge. Every time I've seen him, I like him. I like what I've seen. I can't profess to have seen an abundance of Sam Surridge clips, but when he's played for Forest, we've seen him, haven't we? We've seen him in the Premier League coming on in parts, and Bournemouth coming on in parts and stuff like that. His goal record isn't fantastic. And do Leeds just need a goal scorer now? Is that what you need? I mean, Daniel Farker was going on about 75 goals being the optimum. Well, Joel Perreault's going to get you that. He's got one goal in every 2 games. So maybe that is the route to go down. But if we're talking about an evolution of someone like Patrick Bamford, who should not be playing for Leeds United anymore, I like Sam Surridge. I do. I think, I wouldn't mind that at all, especially for 2.2 million. Actually, Ryan, if you look in the comments, I corrected myself. And also, if you listen to what I said the profile of Sam Surridge would mirror Patrick Bamford. That's what I said. So if you're actually looking at the system and you're actually looking at Leeds United and how we're going to play a Patrick Bamford-esque striker, which Leeds United have needed a replacement for years, Sam Surridge is that. He's the exact same profile. As I mentioned with Ollie McBurney all of those months ago and got slated for. Perreault is someone who plays across the 3. Might not play as a number 9. You had Obafemi playing as the number 9 for Swansea in periods last season, in parts last season. Maybe Perreault play out wide. We've got players who can do that. Nonto, Rutter. We've got players who can play across that front 3. Sam Surridge is a certain type of player that mirrors as Patrick Bamford. So maybe he'd suit a Daniel Farke system more if we're going down a different route. That is what I was getting at. Didn't say he was better than Joel Perreault or anything like that. It's funny how things get twisted. Guys, that's going to be it from me. Really appreciate a lot of your support here. And I think we're going to be back with the debrief tonight. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.